Fingersnaps Media Arts.
Hey everyone, it's DJ Lamont of Fingersnaps Media Arts in San Francisco. Today I'm going to show you how to calibrate your turntable, how to calibrate your tone arm on your turntable. This is a process that's confusing for many DJs. It took me many years. I think I was DJing over 15 years until I actually figured out exactly how to calibrate the tone arm on the turntable to get optimum performance for my DJ performance. Once I started teaching DJ lessons, I thought I should learn exactly how this system works so I can teach individuals like yourself. So, this is how we calibrate the tone arm on your turntable. So, now I'm going to show you how to calibrate your turntable and calibrate your tone arm. So this is a disassembled turn arm here. Here is the stylus here and cartridge. Here's the counterweight, the anti-skate, and a height adjustment of the tone arm. So let's start with applying your cartridge. You apply your cartridge, and there's a little indentation here that allows you to, so it fits right in place. Now, one of the things to keep in mind when you're adjusting your turntable is not to apply a great deal of force, because although this equipment is very durable, when it's misused, it can just snap just like that, in which that means spending extra money and broken equipment. And that's one thing let's try to avoid as much as possible. Now, the next thing we want to do is add the counterweight. Now, you want to have the nimbers facing towards you. I have seen in clubs and various DJ setups where the nimbers are facing outward. But it can be awkward if you're in the front of the turntable and you need to adjust your counterweight and the nimbers are facing away from you. And one of the things, just for your own convenience, if you have them facing towards you, you can adjust them at ease. I know we all have our various applications in how we position our turntable and how we interact with our turntable. So most importantly, you adjust it what's best for you, but I'm just giving you a recommendation. So once you've added it, you turn the counterweight counterclockwise so that it can fit on the back of the tone arm. And then once you get to a certain point, you release the safety holder on the cradle, and then you turn the counterweight counterclockwise. You want to turn it counterclockwise until the tone arm is balanced and weightless, most importantly, because the weightless comes with the balance. And you maneuver it, and this may take a little patience and a little finesse, but you adjust it accordingly. You adjust it accordingly until the tone arm becomes weightless. Okay. It's slightly erect, so we just want to add a little bit more weight by turning it counterclockwise. Okay, and there it is right there. Now you want it to hover right above the cradle. You want it to hover right above the cradle. You don't want it sitting on the cradle. You want it hovering above the cradle. Okay, now if you look back, you can see how it's a nice horizontal stance there, and that's what you want. So now it's weightless. And if you touch it with a nice feathers touch, you can see that it maneuver with ease. Okay, so now it's set at 0. So now what we're going to do is we want to set the dial of your counterweight. It's not the weight itself. This is the dial, and this is the adjustment for the weight. So now it's calibrated at 0. So now the tone arm is weightless, and it's set at 0. So now it's ready to be calibrated. Now, depending on your manufacturer, depending on who manufactured your particular cartridge, they all have their recommendations. So if you look in the manual of your cartridge, it will tell you what they recommend. Now, one of the things that I learned on the street about this particular Shure white label cartridge is that, and I learned this from other DJs, that if you set your counterweight at 3, that you'll get optimal performance. And this is what I learned on the street from DJs. So basically you turn the weight to 3%. Now you have 3 grams of weight. Okay? So if you see the difference, it has 3% of weight on it. So now it's much lighter, it's heavier now. Okay? So the next thing you want to do is your anti-skating. Now if you think about skating, think about like a Olympics figure skater, how they just glide across the ice. Think about with a figure skater, they glide across the ice with ease and grace and finesse. And depending on what type of DJ you are, if you just play straight ahead records or if you play from the various DJ software and you're using Turntable as your application, you want to make sure that your turntable, your cartridge and your tone arm glides across the turntable where it's not pulling to the left or pulling to the right or jerking or most importantly jumping out of the grooves. That's the last thing you want is your groove to jump out of the groove because then there won't be no beat. Okay? And there goes your dance floor. So you set your anti-skate to 3% as well. Okay? Now the next thing you adjust is the height of the tone arm. Now if you look here on the Technique MK1200, there's a little red indentation there. Now as I turn it clockwise, you can see that the red dot is appearing. And you can see the numbers elapsing. So now it's set at 3%. Now again, on the MK1200, there's a little lever here in the back, and you lock it in place. This way it will stay in place forever and a day. Specifically, if it's in your music studio where it will, chances are, stay stationary for a long amount of time. But if you're doing mobile work, this is something that you may want to adjust often. And or if you're playing in a venue, a nightclub, cafe, restaurant, a bar, and they have multiple operators, multiple DJs, this is something that you may want to adjust each and every time that you play in that specific venue. Okay? So now that it is set up, what we want to do is put the needle to the record. You put your needle to the record, you start your turntable. I'm going to go after that first beat, or actually the second beat, the third beat. Now see how it's gliding with ease? It's not pulling to the left, it's not pulling to the right, it's not jerking or fluttering. It's a nice consistency, and that's what you want. So when you maneuver your record, either a controlled record or an actual vinyl, you want to make sure that, again, that it stays in place. In this way, you'll get optimum performance in your DJ performance. So, that's how you calibrate your turntable and your turn arm of your turntable. Again, there's various manufacturers out there. There's all different types of turntables, and there's multiple manufacturers that make cartridges out there. So you have to refer to your manual that comes with your turntable and your cartridge to get recommendations. But this is just a generality of what these various settings and these mechanisms mean on your turntable. If you want more information, you can check out my website, which is fingersnaps.net, fingersnaps.net, fingersnaps.net. My name is DJ Lamont. I've been teaching DJ skills for over 15 years, and I've been DJing and playing with records since I was 5 years old, and that equals over 46 years I've been playing with all of this medium that you see here in this room. Again, check out my website, fingersnaps.net. My name is DJ Lamont of Fingersnaps Media Arts in San Francisco, California.
Fingersnaps Media Arts.